I gave him an ultimatum. I said, look, if you're not going to have sex with me, you better give me a back rub, like every week. My husband got so good at full-on body massages. I stayed with him for 10 years. I was like, my dad paid for a princess wedding. In fact, my dad took over my whole wedding. The only thing I could choose were the flowers. And my dad said, you can choose the flowers because that's a woman's job. I'm like, Dad, a wedding should be my mom's job. And he's like, nope, I'm paying for the wedding. I'm going to make all the arrangements for your wedding. So he gave me a Cinderella wedding. So that's why I also stayed married for so long, because I have a guilt complex the size of California. I didn't divorce him until 10 years in. So, oh my goodness. So anyhow, I called my dad. Okay, so I am divorced because the back rubs kind of didn't work anymore. I wanted a little more something. So I called my dad to tell him that I was getting divorced. And he said, well, that makes sense because your husband has no drive. And I was like, why didn't you tell me that when I got married like 10 years ago? He's like, well, I just wanted someone else to pay your credit cards. So I found out on Facebook that my ex-husband got remarried. Yeah, Facebook. Then I found out on Instagram he got divorced again. Woo-hoo! I'm just waiting for Twitter to tell me he's gay. And then I called my dad. I said, Dad, guess what? Guy. That's my ex last name, Guy. My mom was like, why would anyone name their son Guy? Like, there's a guy in the street. Why would you? I was like, Mom, his name is Gaetano. It's short for Gaetano. It's just Guy, okay? Get over it. I'm marrying him. So anyway, I called my dad. I said, Dad, Guy got divorced for a second time. And he goes, well, now we know it wasn't you. It really sucks when you find out. I'm the only daughter and middle child of 2 boys. It really sucks to find out when you're 11 years old that you're not a daddy's girl. But luckily I have 2 therapists. It took 10 years of therapy to realize my dad was joking 95% of the time. I went to Brazil really heavy. No, I'm sorry, that was backwards. Okay, so I went to Brazil. I was anorexic and bulimic. So I went to Brazil really skinny. I came back from Brazil really overweight. And my dad's first thing out of my dad's mouth, wow, you got fat. And my mom, Nick, stop it, shut up. Don't you remember how we sent her over there? She had that eating disorder. She's like, what? She's fat. What do you want? She's like, Nick, stop. I could never understand why my mom and dad were married. I was just like, get divorced. I was 5 years old. Get divorced. I can't take this anymore. My mom would talk to me about my dad. Then my dad would talk to me about my mom. And I was like, I'm 5. Grow up. Just grow up. And my mom was in the hospital a couple years ago, and I figured out why they're married. And my mom was like, well, first of all, they said that she might not ever be able to go home. And I said, Mom, if you want to go home, you better make that medicine work. And she was like, what? I'll never go home. And she said, I have to go home. I miss Darcy. That's the daughter, the 4-legged daughter that there is their pride.
Turn the video off so they can't see
Okay, you need to mute. Who is that on the phone? Okay. I'm sorry,
Oh.
Okay.
What's that?
Sorry, it's trying to man 25 people. 37! Woo! Sorry, we're on 37! Okay,
37
sorry, I got
people.
excited. Where the hell was I? What was I talking about? I don't even remember.
The Edith's mother.
My mom. Okay, I got it.
Food. Brazil.
I got it. Okay, so I'm in a mood. Can you tell? Okay, so my mom, she was in the hospital, and I said, Mom, that medicine has to work or you're never going home. She's like, I have to go home. I miss Darcy. I miss your father. Oh my God, I have to go home. I know your father's a son of a bitch most of the time, but he's my son of a bitch. And I went, that's why you're married. Oh my God, I get it. So from that point on, it was great. And now I have to go home and take care of my dad, and because he wanted me to come home, so I took care of him. And then within the first hour, I was like, this is not going to work. I'm going to leave early. He turned into Old Yeller. I moved something out of the way for him. Stop helping me! Stop it! And I was like, Dad, that's why I'm here. Fine, I'll just go back to LA. I don't need this. My one therapist died because your issues killed him. So I went on a diatribe of 4 years of pent-up frustration, and I let him have it. And then he looked at me and goes, I love you, Keisha. I'm so sorry. And he gave me the best hug I'd have ever had in the middle of a supermarket.
Oh.
And that's the end of my act. Aww.
Hey.
Hey, Keisha.
Hey.
Guys, thank you for letting me go off. Woo. I'm very excited to bring up our next comedian. She's a very funny lady, I have to tell you. She's in my Toastmasters group, and she is a wonderful writer. And her name is Deborah Eisen. She's also a lawyer, just like my dad. And she is very funny because all the judges laughed at her arguments. Oh my God. Let's give Deborah Eisen a warm welcome.
Great to see everybody, even if it's by Zoom. So last summer, my husband Joel and I made a big mistake in taking a Caribbean cruise. The brochure showed young people smiling and drinking. It turned out the average age was deceased. And the younger ones were just terminal. I should have suspected something was wrong when the name of the ship was Death Star on the Sea. The drinks came flowing. Milk of magnesia, original or cherry flavor. Soon other things were flowing.
Yeah.
The lines to the bathroom were longer than a Congo line. We had expected cruise and booze. Instead, we got cruise and snooze. Late dinner seating was at 3 p.m. Buffet was at 6. The popular desserts were baked apple, and for the real adventurous, Jell-O with whipped cream.
Oh, yeah.
The staff was very attentive. They were always going around taking the guests' temperature and pulse, and this was before COVID-19. It helped them plan how many would last till dinner time.
Oh, shit.
Too soon.
I understand why the cruise line required all the passengers to buy not travel insurance, but life insurance. There were a lot of activies. My favorite was the walker race. Boy, did those old people fly. They have won the championship, but Thelma bumped into my walker. She said it was an accident. Yeah, right. At nighttime, got pretty wild. All the men were given Viagra, an entire bottle.
What?
My husband took the bottles. He figured, why not? We were paying a fortune for this cruise anyway. When we returned, he sold the extra on eBay, what little was left. Looking back, that cruise was something else. Death Star of the Sea, here we come. The drug problem in this country has gotten worse. 52% of people surveyed said Trump is doing a good job handling COVID-19. They think it's a drug, and he's made it easy to get from China. Why else did he let it spread so quickly? And no tariffs. These idiots think they'll get high from COVID-19. All they'll get is high fevers. And they love that it's free and legal. All these people need to get their hands on COVID-19 is to shake hands with their friends. There's nothing like sharing drugs with your friends. You know, new marriages are in jeopardy. Couples say their vows. They promise to love each other in sickness and in health, not when the toilet paper runs out.
Amen.
My husband Joel and I are soulmates. He has soul, and I like to mate. Lately, we've had some problems. He has tendonitis, and it's not in his elbow.
What?
You got that one, or I need to repeat it for you all?
Repeat it.
I don't get it.
I'm saying we've had some problems. He has tendonitis. It's not in his elbow. Oh, get it?
Where is it?
Oh, I don't have to spell it out, I hope.
Spell it out.
We're both lawyers, you know, ethical ones, not like those lawyers whose clients don't know they're being overcharged. We tell ours. Our profession can affect our home life. Deb, let's see the Avengers movie. Motion denied. We're seeing The Wedding Planner. And we never agree on where to go on vacation. Our travel agent decides after our closing arguments. She always rules in favor of Joel. There's gotta be some quid pro quo. Why else would we have ended up in Ukraine with Giuliani? I was afraid Giuliani would make a pass at me, but he was too busy screwing Trump.
What a bump.
Going through airport security is like a strip show, except it's the customers who pay to strip. My heart pounds, my hands sweat, and I'm thinking, maybe I shouldn't have taken that strange man's package. TSA always selects me to go through a body scanner. If I like being humiliated, I'd be a comedian. The male agents just want an excuse to see an image of my body. I mean, can you blame them? They're idiots. They can find me on my IG at Hot Lawyer Mama. At least they don't have tendonitis. Thank you. It's my show.
Yay. Good
I
job.
am going to keep the show rolling. I am going to bring up our next. I'm going to add to her intro. I love this girl. She is a badass. Oh my God. You should see her drum and her sing. Oh my God. Amazing. And main business, and she just is such an inspiration to me. And I'm trying to, okay, so, and she's been performing stand-up comedy for over 10 years, all over LA. I love this girl with all of my heart. Give her a big drum roll, Michelle McGregor. Woo!
What's it?
We can't hear you, Michelle. Your big thing is not working.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm
Careful
jealous.
there. Michelle, it's not working.
It was working before. Deborah, great job. Let's give it up for Deborah, everyone. You did so well, Deborah. I love your writing.
Does that?
All right, there you go. Cool.
Yeah, now we hear you.
Woo! Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Hi. Sorry, I tried to make it all official with my microphone and it didn't work. But I have to hold something, so I guess I'll hold mine now. Thank you for having me, Keith. And I really want to thank everybody for not coming out tonight. You know, I realized I have so many friends on tonight, which makes me super happy. But I thought maybe I didn't have any friends because they never came out to see me live. But it turns out they're just broke.
Yeah.
I think what's really cool about doing a stand-up show on Zoom is that if you don't like somebody's act, you can just press mute. That would be really cool if we could do that in person, right? Like if you could just turn invisible at shows or parties that you don't like, you know? But I feel like with Zoom too, you can like blame it on technical difficulties. So, you know, you can be like, oh man, I tried to come, but my internet was down, or I had a bad connection. And I don't think live it really works like that. You know, you can't go up to someone and be like, oh, you know, I just suddenly lost my hearing and I went blind. It was crazy. So anyway, I know quarantine is really hard on everybody. Watching Netflix all the time and eating anything you want, whenever. Spending all that time with loved ones. I know this is a really difficult time. Honestly, I see a lot of people complaining about this situation, but I feel like if you don't have children, you do not get to complain. I feel so bad for the parents right now.
Yes.
Who would probably
Yes.
be in prison if I was quarantined with children. But
Oh,
it can be
wait,
hard.
we
I'm
lost
finding
you,
it difficult
Michelle.
to
Froze.
stay on to, oh, my internet connection's unstable. Oh no, my internet connection's unstable. It's not that I didn't write a routine, I just have a bad Okay, so I'll just keep going, but tell me if it's too bad of a connection. So anyway, I'm definitely finding it difficult to stick to a schedule. I find that I'm like running out of pajamas. I'm only showering like once a week. I feel like women are gonna come out of this quarantine like burning their bras again. Like I don't even remember where my bras are stored in my house. I like realized through this quarantine that bras are just boob cages. They're just these suffocating boob cages.
Yeah.
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 I will definitely go braless in the home, but I will not be naked. And I think there's really two types of people, right? There's people who grow up being told that their bodies are God's creation and love yourself and, you know, everything natural, you know, freaks. And then there's normal people who have a lot of shame about their bodies and their sexuality and fear that they're just a big waste of space. So I was actually diagnosed by my therapist with body dysmorphia, and I think that people think that body dysmorphia is like looking in the mirror and seeing like an inflated version of yourself, but if you've ever done drugs, you know how powerful the mind can be. It's much more interesting than that. It's like my boyfriend will tell me I look like, you know, hot, and you know, it kind of makes me feel like if I look in the mirror, I'll see Jessica Rabbit, but when I look in the mirror, what I really see is like the woman from the bathtub in The Shining. Like 237, like you know, it's this weird thing. Maybe it's angles. Like, I know when guys are looking at boobs, they're usually like below or like across. But you gotta understand, for women, like when we see our boobs, it's from this weird downward angle, and so they're kind of more like, they're like droopy, like teardrops, like sad little teardrops. It's really not the same thing for us. At least that's how I feel. It's like an angle issue, like when you're like trying to take someone's picture, but then you accidentally turn it towards yourself and you're like, you're like, oh my God, that's what I look like. That's how I feel about my boobs. Okay, wow. Oh my God, I've already been like 6 minutes, but I'm gonna keep going. Okay. She said I could go 8 minutes. Yeah. So, okay, all right. This is what I want to say about COVID-19, okay? I know it sucks. I know this is like the craziest thing we've all lived through, but I do think there's a silver lining. The silver lining is that I don't see politics on Facebook anymore. Woo! Like, the election is like 6 months away, hopefully, and I don't see anybody talking about politics anymore on Facebook, which I really, really like. It's just all about this like crazy disease. Funny. But I'm just like, I've always been sick of politics. I feel like I don't want to hear it from anybody. I don't want to hear it from the left. I don't want to hear it from the right. I just feel like talking about politics is like trying to like take 2 piles of diarrhea and shove them together and say like, yeah, it's now like more solid, but at the end of the day, it's just still shit. Pardon my French. And it just cracks me up. It cracks me up, like how much people like get so mad at the other side, right? Like people are mad at people who follow Trump, even though it's like, it's a fact. It's a fact that he lies, and like they don't know it. And you resent the other side because they won't use logic, because they're making emotional decisions. But I'm like, what makes you think that this would be any different than everything else that goes on in the world? I've never seen a human being make a logical decision about anything. Look at who you date. Look at what you wear. Look at what you eat. Look at where you work. Look at where you live. Tell me the last logical decision you ever made. But the left and the right, they're trying to change each other's minds by either just being angry, which is never going to work, or by using logic. And I just don't think that's ever going to work. The only time that using logic works is if you get in really early. Like if a kid is really young, you can definitely use like mind logic tricks to get them to start doing stuff. Case in point, and this is the last thing I'll say because I know I'm over time. Case in point, wiping from front to back. Okay, this is a woman thing. Okay, but men know the concept of when a woman wipes, if she has any toilet paper left, she's told to go in the direction of front to back, because logically it's, you know, better to get pee in your butthole than it is to get poop in your pooch. Sanitary. But this is all logical, because I am telling you, if you didn't know that growing up, you can't even do it anymore. That's some like Houdini shit. I can't even do it. Even if somebody's watching me wipe, which it's happened, girls, when we're drunk. I try because I don't want them to think I'm disgusting, but I literally can't do it. But I gotta end with this, okay? Mm-hmm. In what world does a woman go to wipe her butt, not realize where she is, and then proceed to pull everything forward? Keep it separate, okay? I keep the separation of poop and state Thank you guys for having me. Oh my God.
Steak.
Eat some fresh assist.
Okay, so I was actually gonna start dating, and then COVID happened.
Oh,
shit.
Woo, Michelle.
I used to be a germaphobe. Now I'm a germaphobe.
Now I'm
And
You got cove blocked.
exactly.
You got COVID block.
So,
COVID block.
Michelle was talking about doing
Bro.
drugs. One time I did mushrooms in college. I did them because they were natural. And I realized I hated the friend I did them with. Okay, that wasn't funny, but it was
That was very funny. That was very funny.
yeah, so yeah, now anyway, okay, I'm gonna keep the show rolling. I love this woman. She's a great mama. She's got 2 really adorable children, and she really, she's here. She's cooking dinner for her kids and her family. She's been in Sirius XM and True TV, and she's usually the MC. Yo, I rhymed. All right.
Yay!
Welcome,
She's the best.
Hi, everybody. Oh, great. I think my husband's home. He's going to walk in on me talking about him. And my mother-in-law's watching. Hi, Dina. I'm going to tell you guys done. So, hi. I want to tell you guys that this isn't the weirdest gig I've ever done. But I've done a lot of weird gigs. In fact, I actually canceled a pay gig to be on this gig. I did. Well, no, it canceled on me. Oh, no. So it's been how many days? How many days have we been quarantined? Has it been like 3 weeks? 2 weeks? Almost
2.5 for me.
2.5. Everybody keeps talking about what people are going to look like after the quarantine, and I just want to let everybody know that I'm going to look exactly the same because I don't do anything, like I don't get my nails done, I don't do any Botox, my grombre will be popping. I'm going to look like this. I'm wearing my pajamas because my daughter peed on me. I have kids. You're right, Michelle. You could feel a little bad for us, but it's fine. I'm fine. Everything's okay. Oh, and she was talking about not wearing a bra. Michelle, I have to wear a bra because I can't stand feeling my nipple on my belly button. And you're absolutely right about the view that you get. That's why, like that view look. You're right. That's why I can no longer plank while I'm naked. Hey, what's up? Not much. I'm just doing a show. Your mom's watching.
You freak.
Yeah, I made dinner. It's over there. Don't make away with that plate because I don't know if it'll explode. Okay, so where was I? I have children. Oh, you know what I really like about these Zooms? Like I was listening to everybody, but I also did dishes. I didn't have to worry about parking. Like, I mean, my mother-in-law never comes to my shows, and now she's on it. I'll tell you one thing, okay? So everybody on Facebook now, right? I used to be like one of those comedians that's like, oh my God, everybody is booking everything. When's it going to be like, I used to be that kind of thing. And now nobody is booking anything. So it's great. But I find that I have house envy now. Because if I take the kids walking out, I walk by somebody and I'm like, oh, they have a house and they have a yard. That must be so nice. Because I'm in a 2-bedroom apartment with technically 4 people, 1 bathroom, but 2 of those people refuse to use a toilet. So I just have my husband to fight with the toilet. My son is 3 years old and my daughter is a year and a half. And my son's repeating things and he's demanding now. Like he comes out and he goes, "Hey, change my diaper." My husband's like, "Excuse me, if you can say change my diaper, then you're old enough to go pee in the potty." Like what happened to us? You know, like as adults, we're like pee. I'm like bribing him. I'm like, I will give you chocolate chips, just pee in the potty. And he's like, no. And now we're in that whole, oh, by the way, homeschooling is not my forte.
Oh my God.
Not killing it at all. But we've been learning about what animals say, and that's going well. He's got most of the animals down, but I find that he'll ask me what an animal will say. Like he asked me, "What does a turtle say?" And I was like, I don't know. So he thinks turtles say, I don't know. Like now he goes, "What does a turtle say?" And I go, "I don't know." And he goes, "What does a turtle say?" I go, "I don't know." And he thinks it's hilarious. And I go, "What does a turtle say?" And he goes, "I don't know." Like that's what, so if he fails out of first grade, it's my fault. I was saying, I will say, okay, so when I was saying the Zoom thing, you get used to it, right? Because honestly, we have 33 people watching, and that's more than I've had on a Friday night. For the corona. I have not had this many people watching. I can't get people in my shows for shit. But what was I? Oh, so yeah, because I've had the weird, every comedian's had the weird stories. I've played in a park that was much weirder than this, because they didn't have a microphone, but they offered a megaphone. And a homeless person started peeing in the middle of the set. So the fact that nobody is peeing right now, I mean, you could be peeing, but I wouldn't know. I mean, I'd like you to mute it because but so we were talking about, everybody's out of job. I used to work at a restaurant for a really long time. And I used to be like, I can't wait till I don't work at this restaurant. And that actually finally happened. I don't work at the restaurant because it shut down, but I was not a great waitress. And the restaurant I worked at, they were really lenient with people. Like if you came in high, they were like, don't be too high. If you're high, be high. Don't be so high that you can't serve people. So we had this one guy, he used to get high. Okay, so I'll wrap it up. I forgot. Oh, nice light. I like that. That's nice.
Sorry.
Well, no, we had this one guy. He always got high, and like I'll call him. I always change his name. Stash. We'll call him Stash. So Stash would come in and they go, "Hey, Stash, you're too high. Stop coming in high. We're gonna give you 30 days. For 30 days, don't come in high." Well, a few weeks passed, and Valentine's Day was happening, and it's a very busy holiday if you worked in a restaurant. And Stash came in like really high, like high, and like so he's trying to serve tables. So this table gets their food, and it's really busy, and they go, excuse me, waiter. And he goes, "Yeah, what's up?" And they had got the wrong food, right? And they go, "We didn't order this." And he's like, "Just shut the fuck up and eat it." Yeah. Now, when you work in a restaurant long enough, you've wanted to say that to people. Really, you just want to like, just shut the fuck up. But they were right. Like they were right. You can't say that when they're right. So they said, I almost said it. Stash your eyes. Get out of here. And they kicked him out. And then he called the restaurant and said, you just lost the best waiter you've ever had. And then he came back in on a Monday because the manager from the Monday night shift promised him a free pizza from the week before. So he cashed in. Thanks.
Well, that's it.
Oh, great. That was awesome. Oh my God. You guys, when I was younger, I was in a dilemma. I wasn't sure if I wanted kids or if I did want kids. I was split right down the middle. So I taught preschool to get my answer. And then I had to quit when all the little kids started looking like martinis before 9 a.m. I was like, this is going to turn me into an alcoholic. So anyway, we were doing S words, and and we're all sitting around a circle. I go, kids, we're going to do S words. And this little kid yells out, fuck. And I go, well, that's an F. We're going to do S like silly and Sam. Then his mother comes in the next day and she goes, oh my God, I've got to pick a bone with you. And I'm like, I'm going to get fired today. I'm going to get fired earlier than when I was going to leave. And she goes, you taught my son how to say Saki Waki. And I go, oh, well, that's so much better than what he said yesterday. So as a teacher, you have to think of creative things to get the kids to put their socks on. So if you add a Y at every word, like Saki Waki, they put it on. They're like, that's cute. I'll put my socks on. It works every time. Anyway, I'm going to bring up our next very funny comedian. Her name is Mary Kennedy, who's been on Shameless and Conan, and she's amazing. Welcome, Mary Kennedy.
Yes. Yes. There's my mic. Here we are. See? We're technically available for you. Hold on. Sorry. Hold on. I got to stand. I've been making Amazon go crazy. I've been Windexing everything. Wait, that's wrong. Okay. I'm wearing my Conan t-shirt. Okay. So my cousin, my dear cousin is on the line. I'm not going to say who she is, but I love her. And she probably doesn't, oh, I'm moving furniture. Sorry. She probably doesn't even know this about me. So I was on Shameless, everybody. And so yeah, I was on Shameless season 7. I played an out of work prostitute. Thank you. Thank you. And it wasn't really a reach because now I'm an out of work comic who gets food for everybody. Do you know I take my life in my hands to get my kids nutrition? I put my mask on and my gloves. I throw a scarf around my head just to get deli thinly sliced because my children will not eat it unless you can see through it. Oh, did I give birth to old Jewish men from Brooklyn? What is going on? Anyway, but I was a prostitute on Shameless. I played Miss Fiona. And, I actually was in a nude scene, everybody. I had a nude scene. Thank you. Thank you for the creepy video. I walked out of the shower naked. I did. And now I'm a part of the Women of Shameless with Emmy Rossum, Shanola Hampton, all the ladies on skin.com. On skin.com. And my description, it was the best bio I ever had in my whole life. And I've been an actor for 20 years. They said, Mary is real and available, and she's a milky white Irish girl, and her left breast is actually larger than her right, ladies and gentlemen. All the Toastmasters have all had strokes. All right, nobody. And there's comics writing their notes. Girls, watch a pro. 22 years. Thank you very much. And here I am in my office that I inhabit with my whole family. I'm on house arrest and I'm using my lifeline to call for help. Can somebody please, Eric Deskin, can I sleep on your couch? Please.
My
Dear
coach?
Can I sit on your couch? Did I say coach? Oh my God, I want my coach bag back. I have I have, look at
Coach.
the fruits. Oh my God, I can't. I am actually willing to risk the stay at home so my colorist can come in and grow my head. I want someone to touch me because my husband is staying 6 feet away. There was this expert on CNN who was not Dr. Fauci, my boyfriend, Dr. Fauci. I love a man who has facts. And then Sanjay Gupta, because I like a man who's kind of Latino in a weird way. He's not, but I'm from Boston. So anyway, I was watching this other crack guy who was a doctor, and he said, I want to let the couples out there, this is a service announcement, I want to let the couples out there know that as long as you're not symptomatic, you guys can have sex. And I turned to my husband and I said, we can have sex. And he goes, and then I go, no. So that is how sexy it is here. Because I'm going through menopause and all of my hormones are everywhere, I turned to him because I saw a picture of a baby on Facebook and I said, you know, let's take this time and have a baby. Let's have a baby. And my husband looked at me, and he's a man of very little words, so when he does speak, I ignore him. He looked at me and he said, I'm out. So that's what's going on over here. It's too close to home, I get it. I live in Van Nuys. Don't be jealous. I live in Van Nuys. Thank you. And I'm in a new reality series for Bravo.
Ooh.
Thank you. Called The Real Housewives of Van Nuys. We go to the Vallarta markets. When things get really crazy, I go to the DMV so I can get my headshot done. I do hot Bikram yoga at the hairstylist, Bales bondsman, tax accountant on Victory. All right. Nobody understands who's not in Los Angeles. My cousin from Maine is like, what's going on? I don't understand. Maine is where LL Bean is. When I was a kid, I wore lots of LL Bean. I wore lots of fleece. I looked like a Q-tip. I was not that hot. Somebody's talking. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. I feel like a bat. I can hear and see everything. I'm not sleeping. My son is up till 3 a.m. His birthday's in June. He's got autism, so he cycles. And he goes, Mom, when I have my virtual birthday party, this is the rules. I mean, the poor kid, he hasn't seen a soul. It's horrible. And I'm a substitute teacher when I'm not entertaining you guys. God bless America. And I am so inept to teach them. I wake up in the morning, I pull up the shades, I go, get your asses out of bed. It's time to be educated. And then I go and have a cup of coffee and go, you're on your own. Mommy needs her me time because and then I do a downward dog for 5 minutes. And then that's all
Hi,
I do.
Trey.
People are like, I'm taking yoga, I'm cleansing, I'm having Ayurvedic, Reiki assignments across the world. I'm like, no, I'm sleeping, and I'm so happy when I'm asleep because I have dreams that my husband divorces me and I'm dating Jason Momoa. Okay, that is the key to my success through this. Do I have one more minute or am I done?
Yeah, one more.
Okay, so a couple of the hits. Lindsay, you disown me? Is she there? Is she gone? I want to see your face. Lindsay, hello? Oh, is she here? Unmute yourself.
It's really hard to see.
Oh no, Lindsay's there. She's there. I got it. Okay, well, this is for her. This is about her family. So my daughter is not looking at me because she's a teen. And I said, don't you love your mother? I'm at my wit's end. And she said, kind of. And then my son came to me the other day and he goes, Mom, I'm going through puberty. I go, really? I got to deal with this in a pandemic? Really? You're on your own. So anyway, I said to him, I go, all right, let's talk about it. He goes, I got hair in places I never thought I had places. My voice is starting to change. And I hear my penis will be enormous. And I said, yeah, you get that from me. I go, my labia is the size of a smart car. All right, everybody. Good night. Love you all.
Oh my God. Well, I've been alone. You guys, I've been alone and not a swinging solo, so my labia is now a virgin. Oh my God. When I have sex again, I'm going to alert everybody. Well, maybe not, because I don't know if it's ever going to happen. But anyway, I'm so excited to bring up the next comic. He's very, very funny. He's done a lot of shows. He's been performing for a really long time. And we met at an amazing club called the New York Bagel.
New York,
Yeah,
man.
so I want to bring up Eric.
Was that
Hey, Eric.
See me?
me? Me? Is that me? Are we live?
Eric, Justin.
Thank you. Oh my God.
Best babysitter.
Thanks for logging on, everybody. Thanks for joining our little Zoom
He was my
community.
doctor for about 4 years.
Who heard about Zoom 3 weeks ago? I didn't even know what the hell it was. But I know, finally, a middle-aged white guy on the comedy stage. Thanks so much. Pleasure to be a part of this diverse show. Finally, the male voice on COVID-19. Hey, look, it is what it is. How many times a day do you say that, huh? It's what it is. What do I say to my neighbors? How you doing? I'm doing. I'm doing. I'm doing. I had to watch the fucking Tiger King, but I'm still okay. Still okay. Like, why am I watching these disgusting people? Because there's nothing else to do and I can't leave the apartment. There you go. I could go to Ralph's, but I could also die doing it. So I'm going to stay home. I'm going to watch the TV. This is where we are. I don't want to say I'm lonely, but I'm going to need shoulder surgery when this is all over. Okay. I think my girlfriend. I have a girlfriend. She's on here somewhere. She's in other. I think you have to click to go, but her picture's not up. She's gorgeous. It's one of those like cliche Hollywood romances, you know, like a 15-year age difference. It's almost embarrassing. She's 70. And, we met at chair yoga, and she's never seen me do stand-up before. We've been dating for 6 months. She's never seen me do stand-up before, and after this show, she will still be able to say that. So. But we've been dating for like 6 months. We actually broke up for a week because she said, I love you. And I said, do you want to get Thai food?
Thai food.
But it's a long distance relationship because I live in Hollywood, Los Feliz on the east side of LA, and she lives in Santa Monica. So for you people on the East Coast, that's like living in Manhattan and dating someone who lives in Santa Monica. Which if you drove today takes about 4 minutes. It's a fucking dream. Oh my God. I find myself thinking like, hey, this is awful, but you know what? It's kind of nice. People are dying, but there's no traffic on the 10. That's pretty. But we've been isolating. I haven't seen her in weeks. I had to go over for like a humanitarian relief effort. She ran out of toilet paper, so I brought her a roll.
That's nice.
Because I'm a mensch, right? So, but we've been isolating. So, and she actually said to me, she's like, you know, she said it seemed kind of distant. But I assured her that she is the only woman that I am not seeing. But we haven't been able to have, there's been no lovemaking. We tried to have sex on this very platform. I apologize. We tried to have sex on Zoom. It kept freezing. And I lost my erection. Okay, it was my fault. It was my fault. Because I'd be like, oh, baby, yeah, show me your, no, move your elbow. Move your elbow. I didn't want to tell her that I had pornography in the other window, so. She's on here. I did not. That is not true, sweetheart. It's yeah, I can't even look at pornography. First of all, I feel like I've seen it all at this point. Pornography. I can't even. I mean, I literally, I went to touch myself the other day. My penis said, "You again?" I can't even. So you got to find things to do. It's insane. I Swiffered the fuck out of my apartment today. I haven't done that since 2011. I Swiffered. It took me 3 Swiffers to do one room. That means your floors are probably dirty. I Swiffered. I brought out some Palo Santo. I saged my apartment. That's gonna keep. That's what we do in LA. We'll fight your COVID with sage and Reiki. She asked me if I wanted to try Duolingo. I said, sure. Who else did you have in mind? I thought Duolingo was when you go down on 2 women at once. But apparently, it's a language app. So in 3 weeks, I will be fluent in Juan es un niño. John is a boy. John is a boy. Been doing a masterclass. She got a subscription to masterclass, and it came with like 1 free year. So I hopped on that, but I got like the free version. It's only like B and C list celebrities. So today I learned decoupage with Lindsay Lohan, which was pretty good. Learned how to make tapas with Antonio Sabato Jr. What else did I do? Oh, I've been doing, trying to keep fit because you can't move around. I usually go skating. I usually go running. You can't do anything. I've been doing yoga. I did an online naked yoga class today.
Oh,
I should clarify. No one else in the class knew that I was naked. But you turn your video off. And Deborah, I used to be a lawyer too. I enjoyed your lawyer material. Is she frozen or is she comatose?
I'm here.
Oh, there you go. I fell asleep on this thing. Yeah, Deborah, I used to be a lawyer, so I don't practice anymore. It's been a long time. So I like to say I'm not a lawyer anymore, except on dating apps. Because
I say that I practiced until I was perfect and I didn't have to practice anymore.
I barely I was not a good lawyer. My legal advice was always just sign it.
you're a doctor.
A good lawyer. I played a lot of doctors on television. I thought about. Yeah, you don't want me to use it. People still ask me for legal advice, which is I'm like, what part of I tell dick jokes on Zoom call? Yeah. By the way, how many, especially for the LA people, how many pilots named Homeschool do you think are going to be pitched in about 8 months from now?
Oh my God.
500.
Everyone's writing 3 of them.
I just wrote one.
All right, how much longer do I have to talk? Okay, there you go.
More.
What else can I say? You guys have been so much fun. Thanks so much for logging on to this. Everybody stay safe. Thank you.
So, guys, I have to confess something. I get paranoid when somebody joins in late because we got pornoed on our storytelling. It was horrible. We got hacked. It was awful. So now I'm like, does anybody know who Susan Tell is? Sorry, Susan.
That's Tracy's sister.
I know. I figured that. Yeah, that's what they told me in the chat.
What did you think I did?
I know.
Yeah, it's called Zoom booming. Zoom booming.
Horrible. So you guys, I have to.
I just heard my name and porn.
It's okay.
Mary.
Okay. So you guys, I have to tell you, those lawyers out there, Deborah and Eric, you can fight over this line. A friend of mine says, I'm an attorney, but I'm a recovering attorney. Have at it.
I don't want it. Do you want it, Deborah? It's all yours if you don't want it.
I'm going. Okay, it's not that funny. Okay. So, you guys, I touch my pussy, and my pussy goes, why bother?
Oh.
That's me going blue. Come on.
go.
preschool. Now I went blue with y'all. Okay, so I'm bringing up the next comedian. I love her dearly. She's got her accent will just make you laugh because she didn't lose her accent even though she moved to LA. And I just love this woman. She's hilarious. I am so happy to bring up the very funny Tracy Esposito. And I don't know if you sent me your.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
She's been all over. She's performed in New York. She's performed wherever in LA. She's amazing. Give it up for Tracy Esposito. Woo!
Thank you so much, Keisha. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for coming out tonight. Yeah, I play all over in my apartment complex. And I did my hair today. Look at this.
Yeah.
I did my hair because I was looking for my unemployment check. I said, let me go to the mailbox and look good. So thank you all for coming out. So yeah, this is really weird. You know, this is really weird. I'm 52 years old. I have perimenopause and my family's in New York. And I call them. I worry about people in New York. I'm originally from Staten Island. And I call my sister up. I said, are you okay? Are you okay? Because I'm really nervous. And they're like, yeah, Governor Cuomo's hot. I said, oh, okay. Do you have a mask? Are you okay? Can you breathe? And they're like, yeah, he's single. So I was like, okay, all right. I guess everybody's doing good in New York over there. Okay, everyone wants the governor. So I am quarantined a little bit, like part-time with a boyfriend. I have a boyfriend now, and yeah, let me show you. There he is. Wait, that's the wine. That's the cheap wine. I never lived with someone. I'm 52. I never lived with somebody. So this is how it goes. He walks in. He destroys my kitchen. It looks like a bomb. It looks like an explosion went off. All right, an explosion went off. I just sit there and I'm like, because I'm so like a neat freak, and he goes, I'm gonna boil an egg. And I come in 10 minutes later. There's a shoe on the floor. There's a toothbrush by the sink. His watch is underneath the dish rag. And I just see shells everywhere. And I just said, oh my God, this is insane. But he cooks. I have acid reflux, so I cough a lot. And people are like calling security on me on Trader Joe's. Okay? I was drinking a water bottle and the water went down the wrong pipe. Does that ever happen when you're drinking and you're laughing and the water went down the wrong pipe? And before you know it, everyone's scattered. Security's coming over to me. I said, it went down the wrong pipe. It just went down the wrong pipe. Holy shit, this old lady with a mask was ready to, dump me. Bitches. Oh my God. Anyway, I love my boyfriend. He's an actor. He does pretty well. He gets, we're unemployed. Yeah. But when he cleans, one time I cooked and I said, can you help me clean? And he goes, oh, I'm an artist. We don't clean. I'm an artist. And I said, and I'm a casting director and you're the fucking dishwasher. So, but I want to be clean. Because I think there's kids around. Yeah, it's been tough. It's been tough living, I wear a mask. People used to laugh at me in my family when I would wear a mask years ago on the plane because I didn't want to get sick. Now I can't find an effing mask anywhere. I gotta go on Facebook for a mask. My boyfriend comes on and what did you say? You have a 007 mask? Or
I have an N95.
N95. I said, what are you bringing in guns? He's like, no, it's a mask. I said, okay, all right, buddy, leave the guns outside, okay, honey? Leave the guns outside. So I got my sisters on, and my sisters are like, oh, I don't know if I can stay up till 10:30. They're all on it right now. They're in the background. It's so funny. I have one sister, Teresa. Nothing's ever good. I call her up. I said, how's it going? She goes, we're dropping like flies here. Just fucking pray for us. Fucking pray for us, will you? I got a father in Florida that can't stay home at 86. He's got to always go out and do shit, okay? He's a food addict, okay? I call him up. I said, what are you doing? He goes, I went to McDonald's. Don't tell anybody. I said, oh, my gosh. This guy, you can't leave him home. He's always obsessed with food. I can't stand him. Oh, but my sister, before the coronavirus, I used to call her up. I said, how's it going? Happy birthday. I said, happy birthday. She goes, another year of this bullshit. All right. Okay. That's an old one. My mother died. In 1994. I'm okay. I'm fine. I have acid reflux, perimenopause. I'm moving on. But when somebody dies on Facebook, and then now my mother died. She was very young. My mother, she was 56 when she died. God rest her. But when anyone dies like that at like 99 or 100 years old and they post it on Facebook, it's hard to like really cry, So I wrote under my friend's post, "Sorry for your loss." And my sister calls me up and she goes, "Her mother died at 100 years old. We lost mommy at 56 years old. Do you want us to cry?" She goes, block that bitch. Okay, all right. We're not into death. Okay, we're not into death. No death tonight, Tracy. Governor Como, 61, hot. Okay. So yeah, I go get the groceries. I go to the bank. I don't know how to use the ATM. I deposit. I'm old school. I deposit with the teller in front of me. They're like, "No deposits." I said, "Bullshit." I went in, I looked at the teller, I got the mask on, the gloves. I said, "Make the deposit." She thought I was going to rob the bank. I said, "Make the deposit, you bitch. I gave you a Starbucks gift card for Christmas." She did it. I'm telling you, those tellers like me. So, perimenopause sucks. Getting old sucks. As I'm doing this set, I have gas. I don't even know if you heard. this is horrible. Everything is just having perimenopause. All I do is cry. It's just, I can't even, what happens when I laugh? First of all, I sneezed the other day. I had the neighbors are giving me dirty looks. I sneezed and I had a river in my pants. Katrina was in my pants. I sneezed. There's a river. And I said, "There's something wrong with me." A river. I don't want to wear Depends at 52 years old. I want to wear Depends when I'm 90. Where it Depends? I don't want to wear Depends now. What are you kidding me? Oh God, this sucks. What else? I got the acid reflux. If I have a tomato, I'm bent over backwards, trying to, whatever. But I used to, let me tell you something. I used to always get drunk. I can't get drunk anymore. Every time I get drunk, first of all, I got the acid reflux, but I call all my ex-boyfriends up from the 90s. I'm like, "Hi." He's like, "I'm married." I'm like, "Really? Is she pretty?" That joke sucks. All right, listen. So let me tell you something. I used to. Those three guys. I'm like, look at those three guys. ZZ Top is here. I love it. Okay. All right. I love those guys. I love them. All right. My sister has a background of a prison cell, but I'll ask her about that later. Okay. What else is going on? Okay. I have doctors out here. It's called Obamacare. He's half doctor, half mechanic, half actor. That's my doctor. Okay. He's Persian. Yeah, he's Persian, this doctor. So I said to him one day, he's a gynecologist. So I go into your office. I'm vulnerable. I got my legs in the air. What am I going to say? So I said, "Hey, I'm thinking about having another baby." And he went, "How old are you? How old are you?" I said, "I'm 49. At the time, I was 49. He goes, "If you have a baby, the baby would be abnormal. The baby would be abnormal." I said, "Shut up. Here's your $3 copay." Fucking guy yells at me. I said, "I don't talk to someone like that's thinking of having a baby at 49. This son of a bitch." Oh, God. You know what? They would never do that in New York. They just give you the Xanax and kick in the ass. Okay. My sister, they want to hear more about my sister. Anyway, if you die at 99 years old, she's not going to cry. All right. So my father's running. Oh, what is that? Is that the light? Let me know when I got the light.
You got one more minute.
Okay.
More.
My father wants to be cremated. So I said to my sister, "How do you feel about that?" Because he's a good-looking guy. He looks like Jack LaLanne. She goes, "He's, because he wants to be burned to the crisp." How the fuck? I told him now, if he dies now, I can't fly to fucking Florida right now and burn your body. My God, that's so funny. Oh my God, I just wrote that. Okay, all right, listen. Is this funny? This is, right? Okay. Yeah. Fuck, I'm cooped up in the house all day. This better be funny. Listen, you guys, Keisha, I love you. Mary, Roe, Eric, the other girl, the name have perimenopause, my family for tuning in. Thank you so much. Keisha, thank you. Okay. Bye.
That was great.
Bye. Give it up for all the comics tonight.
Woo!
Woo! Tracy, give it up for all the audience. Woo! You guys are just gonna win. Tracy, didn't Jack LaLanne die of high cholesterol?
Oh my God, did he? I don't know. I just thought,
So
but he
yeah.
lived to his
100 though.
90s. He lived
Yeah.
to his
This
90s.
guy's old, but I think it was high cholesterol, but don't quote me, but I think so. So you guys, I'm gonna leave you with this. So
Mary, I know
upswing-
Mary.
you guys, so the upswing to doing virtual comedy, there's no 2-drink minimum. And all the female comics are not gonna get raped when they go to their car.
Whoa.
Oh, geez.
Oh,
And
Oh.
this is it's fucking true. Excuse my language. Okay, so this is my news in the time of COVID-19. This is my new self-defense move. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Thank
Hey,
you. All
Keisha.
wonderful
you.
comments.
Keisha. Hey, Keisha.
Yes.
Keisha, real quick. I just want to throw something out to everybody real quick, if you don't mind. Just 1 second.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you to all the comics. If you guys drop your social handles to follow you guys are amazing. I think that would help with like all the connectivity and all this good stuff. So feel free to drop your social handles, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you guys are at. Let us know so we can keep connected with you. You guys are
Okay,
awesome.
let's do it. And I'll take a picture. Everyone, do all that, and I'll take a picture and I'll email it to everybody, and we can all connect. Right? You guys, I have to confess, I've been watching Schitt's Creek.
Oh my
good.
God.
Oh my god.
Best show
Oh
ever.
my god. Oh my god. So did you like my self-defense move? Isn't it
Great.
fantastic?
I have to, just because
Okay,
we're all
everyone's
still on
stupid.
Zoom
You
here.
guys, this is so awesome. You have to
never mind.
step off, Michelle?
Well, I
Oh,
just,
fuck. Who wanted
I don't know what I got on my hand, but I touched my eyeball, and now I'm like going blind. Like
Oh my god.
I don't know what's happening. And
Oh
so
no.
I
Are
got,
you
like,
using toilet paper?
I'm using tissues to dip in some oat milk to put in my eyeball.
shit.
I
Helen
just
Keller.
thought it was funny, but literally,
Helen Keller.
I have no idea what is this spicy something, but it burnt.
Oh.
Just irritated it. Yeah.
It's
Just keep
funny.
flushing it. Keep flushing it.
Thanks, Chris, for reminding me to do that. You guys,
Thanks,
it
Chris.
takes a village, and this is so awesome to have all of you. And a special shout out to Sonia, who has her birthday today.
Oh, thank
and
you.
thank
Hey, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to Sonia.
Happy
Thank
birthday.
you for the 3 bears up in Seattle.
Oh, those 3 guys. Oh, those 3 guys.
Great.
Those 3 guys are great.
It's Rodney, Court, and Elvis.
Love ZZ
There
Top.
they are.
They're
Nice
making some
guys.
craft
Keep
beer
them up.
tonight.
Yeah, crap.
Those guys are great. ZZ Top.
You guys, they are the best because I met LB and Rodney at the Highlander where my friend owns our restaurant, and I performed up there. My friend Janie, she's like, don't talk politics. Everybody's a Republican up here, and they all have guns. Like, okay.
They have N95s?
No, she literally told me that before I went up on the stage. I'm like, okay, I'm changing my whole act on the fly. It was hilarious. But
Do
I
all their names rhyme?
What?
Do all their names rhyme?
Court, Rodney, and Elvis.
Oh, okay.
Rodney. Elvis.
No.
No. Oh, you guys are
Take a
cute.
picture of all this, you guys, and I'll send it to everybody. Okay?
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Hey, bye, guys.
You well,
Bye,
everybody.
family.
Steph, I'll call you.
I hope your eye gets
Good to see
better.
you, Trey.
All right. Thanks.
Bye,
everyone.
bye, Eric.
Bye.
Bye, Sue, Teresa, Sarah, thank you.
See you, Ro.
Bye.
Good to see you, Susan, if you're still there.
Bye.
Bye, guys.